Okay, so today's topic we're going to talk about guide dogs and GPS systems. It's kind of where the technology plays a part in this. Um, so what I'm going to do, like the outline for this, is I'm going to talk about guide dogs and guide dog training, and then we'll talk about GPS, and then I will take questions after we talk about guide dogs, and then questions after we talk about GPS. Um, So first, we're going to start talking about the guide dogs and guide dog programs. In the United States, I believe there's 15 guide dog schools. The most popular ones right now are all on the East Coast and in California. So you have Guiding Eyes, the Seeing Eye, and Guide Dog Foundation, and then in California you have Guide Dogs for the Blind. In Michigan, we have Leader Dogs for the Blind, which it's a nonprofit organization, and clients can go there for free and get their dog. Unless you're from Spain, if you're coming from Spain, you do have to pay a small fee to get your dog because of, I think it's a tax thing over in Spain. But at the moment, they aren't taking people from Spain or from Canada because of COVID. And right now, their waiting list is actually pretty short. If you are coming back to get a guide dog, if you're a first time guide dog user, you're on a 3 to 5 month waiting list right now. So, Leader Dog, I went to Leader Dog and I went there in 2016 and got my dog. Her name's Glory and she's a yellow lab. Um, and guide dogs are actually pretty interesting. You get the pros and cons of them. Some of the pros of them are right now in COVID, the dog will find chairs and stairs and tables and things, so you don't have to touch a lot of things, which is good to help not spread COVID. Um, but the downside is you lose all of your tactile feedback on the ground because you have nothing following that. All you have are your feet. So my suggestion is if you're gonna get a guide dog, get some very light tennis shoes so you can feel the ground. Um, and then what was it? Oh, one of the things that people get confused about guide dogs is that you don't need to know where you're going anymore, which is not true. The guide dog is not a GPS system. The guide dog will not just take you places. You still have to know where you're going, and you have to give direction to the dog. Um, So they say when you get the dog to have 4 or 5 places you can travel to and buildings you can go into to work with your dog so that the dog gets practice, but also that you're comfortable in those locations. 81% battery power. Speech off. So that's mainly so we'll talk about the guide dogs and how they've been treating them during COVID. So during COVID right now, back in March, a lot of the guide dog schools, especially on the East Coast in New York, which is where the three guide dog foundations, Seeing Eye and Guide Dogs, or not Guide Dogs, Guiding Eyes, they're all in New York and New Jersey. And so they were letting puppy raisers and volunteers take the dogs home with them so they weren't in the kennel, and Leader Dog did the same thing. And Leader Dog this year is on its 200 or 20,000th puppy being raised at Leader Dog. So that's a big milestone this year. And as of June, all of the puppies on the East Coast and in Michigan have gone back to the guide dog kennels, and they're starting to get trained to be placed with clients. And in California, they still have some of the dogs out of the kennel and with puppy raisers and volunteers. So the final thing I'm going to talk about is training to get a guide dog in case people haven't gone through it. Um, my training was a whole month. I went to Leader Dog and stayed on campus for a whole month. There's a couple options when you go for training. Usually there's on-campus training where you go to the school and do training with the trainers at the school. They have at-home training where they will come to you and you do routes around your neighborhood and things. And then now they have a thing where you do city travel, and that's mainly for New York and Chicago, where you'll go to the center, the place where the school is, for 2 weeks, and then they go back to where you live for 2 weeks and do training there. So my training was just at the campus, and the campus mainly, um, we mainly went and walked around downtown, and we went to Birmingham and Royal Oak, which are here. We went to a shopping mall, um, and they were just, it was really cool experiences because everything, like, we go in a shopping mall, you're not running into those signs that are sticking out of stores, and you go around people and around objects. It's like a whole new experience. So it's very exhausting going through training, but it's worth it at the end. So. Um, that's pretty much everything about guide dogs. I can take any questions anybody has now.
Hi, Rachel. This is Vince. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. Yeah, it's nice to know that people are still, well, actually, it's not nice to know, but it seems that people still have that idea that guide dogs, know where they're going all the time. You just grab the harness and they know you want to go here, they know you want to go there. And like you said, once they learn a certain place, when you go somewhere all the time, they remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I had my guide and I was going to college, he would, whenever I changed classes the next semester, he'd always want to go to that one class again. And I said, no, we don't go there anymore. We go somewhere else. And the next time, he picked it up. It was really
Yeah, my
something.
guide dog does that too.
It
She'll be like, "We used to go here," and I'm like, "No, we're not going there anymore. New place."
yep. Now you have a yellow lab, right? Isn't that what you said one
Yeah,
time before?
she's 5 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah. Well, I had a black lab, and
Okay.
one thing that was funny about it was that he's a water dog. And he didn't like water, and when it rained out here in I'm out here in Hell West, which I call Hell West, which is Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
and he hated it when it rained. He didn't like walking in the rain, and when there was puddles on the sidewalk, he would walk me through the puddles, and he would go around the puddles. And it was as if I'm gonna pay you back, And if we
Your
walk through,
dog does the same thing my dog does.
if and if we have to walk through the puddle, if the puddle was too big for him to walk around, he would splash water on me as we're walking.
Mm-hmm.
So he was pretty funny. He was a funny dog. I mean, he had a good sense of humor, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But like you
Anybody
said,
else have a
but like you
question?
said, you don't have to run into those signs and stuff like that. That's one thing I kind of miss with the guide dog. But
You can still get guide dogs. There's a lot of schools right now who are taking people. So.
yeah, I know, but I raised two kids and a guide dog, and now it's time to raise me. So
I can answer questions about how to apply for a guide dog too if anybody has any questions that hasn't applied before and wants to.
Yeah, Rachel, I have a question. Um, I was hearing that these guide dog training centers, they find a way to match the dog with your personality.
Mm-hmm.
How is that done?
So when you apply for a guide dog, you have to fill out an application, and it's like a 10-page long application. And in there, there's background about you, there's background about like kind of your living environment, there's background about your travel experience. And in there, there's a section where it says, "What do you do for recreation and leisure?" And they will see what you do and match you with the dog that way. And most guide dog schools require a video of you walking too. And they can match the guide dog on that because you're talking in the video, like, "Hi, my name is so and so, I live here." And they can kind of tell if you have like an energetic personality or kind of a laid back personality. And then usually when you get into training, at least they did this with me, they came in and they have, usually when you go in, they have two or three dogs that they have picked out for you. And
Oh,
they'll ask you a couple questions like, "What are you looking for in a dog?" And I said, well, I want one that can be like energetic, but can also be like kind of laid back. And they fit me
Hmm.
perfectly. So they take that into consideration.
I see. I
Hmm.
see. Also, the other question, well, actually, it's kind of a comment and a question. There was a time in my life, not well, maybe some years ago, where I was really thinking about getting a guide dog, and I was in training, VR, the DVR training,
Hmm.
and I told them of my interests, and they said, "Well, you're losing your hearing, and you got to have full hearing in order to have a guide dog." And I was like, "Oh my!" And then, not too long after that, I enrolled in the National Helen Keller Center for Deaf Blind, and
Hmm.
I found a couple people with guide dogs. And I was thinking, wow, this doesn't make sense because they can't hear and they can't, well, some of them are losing their vision and some of them are losing their hearing. I think most of them that had guide dogs were losing their hearing, but they had guide dogs. And so I told them my situation, and he said, "Oh, that's BS." So and then I met more people. Um, in fact, one of them has really become my close friend, and she has a guide dog, and she doesn't have any vision and any hearing left, and she has a guide dog.
Hmm.
So I was thinking, um, do you have to have hearing in order to have one? I mean, do you have to actually hear for the dog?
So, I know leader dog. I don't know about the other guide dog programs because I'm a leader dog person and I'll always be a leader dog person. But leader dog twice a year has a program for deafblind, and they
Oh,
will
no
give
wonder.
dogs to
Okay.
deafblind people. And those
Hmm.
dogs are very trained for traffic patterns and things like that, so that because somehow I have no I'm hard of hearing, so I wasn't in the deafblind program, but I have a hearing impairment, and
Oh.
they basically said that there's a way when you're deaf to hear the traffic go past you or something like that, but the
Hmm.
dog's there to kind of double check. So you don't necessarily, and if you're hard of hearing and you wear hearing aids, they'll put you in a regular guide dog class, but they'll um, make a couple of adjustments to make it so that you can cross streets and everything safely. Because that's what my dog does, and that's mainly the reason I got a guide dog, is because I can't always hear the cars coming in front of me, and my dog has saved me from getting hit by a car a couple times.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
So I would look
Um,
at Leader Dog and call them if you're interested in that because they do have a good program for that.
okay. Thank you.
Hmm. Any other questions? You see anything, Sean?
No, no one else's hand has been raised.
Okay. So we can move on to GPSs if people don't have any more questions.
Well,
Yeah, see
before
some
we
about.
do that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask her. Does Leader Dog still train Dobermans guides, or did they stop that?
So Leader Dog mainly trains yellow, black, chocolate labs and golden retrievers, and they have a couple
Oh,
of golden labs.
oh,
They do German Shepherds every once in a while, but that's about it.
okay, yeah, because I remember I think it was Guide Dogs over in San Rafael tried
Hmm.
um, collies or border collies, but they said they were just too active and
I
they
know
had a lot of.
Pilot Dog in Ohio does the poodles. They do the oversized poodles.
Oh yeah, yeah, the giant
And
poodles. Yeah,
that those are interesting.
yeah.
I have a friend with one of them, and some days that dog's really on, and some days that dog is not. So,
Oh really? do they
yeah, that
still
one's
do?
an interesting breed.
Do they still do boxers over there too? Do you
Do
know?
what?
Do they still have boxers over there as well? I remember they used to have boxers also.
I don't think so anymore. They've
Yeah.
tried to stick to a couple of breeds because it's not as hard to breed them that way.
Right. Yeah.
And they only do German Shepherds like I think it's like once or twice a year they get a new litter of German Shepherds, and they might get like 8 to 10 German Shepherds that are born in that litter between the two litters, and only about 4 or 5 of them go on to be guide dogs.
Yeah.
So if you want,
Okay.
you gotta really think hard if you want a German Shepherd and willing to be really patient, because, and I think that's the way with all the guide dog schools.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm done.
So GPS stands for Global Positioning System, and what that means is that there are satellites in space that will track your positioning, and they send it out to satellites, and somehow that's picked up by these devices and phone apps and things like that use GPS. So then that kind of brings you into the two categories of GPS. You have GPS applications and that can go on mobile devices, and then you have the hardware GPSs. So the hardware GPSs might be like the Victor Trek, Trekker Breeze Plus. They had the Captain at one point. Those are all hardware GPSs because they're separate from your phone. And then you have mobile GPSs, which are the applications, which can be like Blind Square or Foursquare, Google Maps, things like that will help you. Um, so going along with the guide dog thing, GPSs are very helpful when you have a guide dog because, like I said, you lose all that tactile thing, everything, and the dog can tell you like right and left is their main field. They like to go right and left and straight, and so if you have a map that you can go through when you're going somewhere, that's a lot easier than just using your cane and doing that. Which I know a lot of cane users who also use GPS to get around too. So the main way that a GPS works is you put in your starting location, so it could be your house, and you might want to go to the bank up the street, so you put in the address for the bank, and on the hardware and the mobile apps, they will give you turn by turn. I know like Blind Square, it gives you clock directions of where it's located, and you can keep walking and doing that. If you use Google Maps, there's a walking feature, and if you hit that, it will give you turn by turn. So it will say like in 20 feet turn right, and then you turn right, and it will tell you. I've learned that Waze, which is another Google app, works really well for walking too because it will take you around construction. Um, but there's a lot of different GPS ways out there that you can get around. So, but that's mainly about GPS. GPS isn't really that complicated.
Right. And I actually, Stephen, we'll get to you in a minute. But one thing that where I come into this week is I was going to talk about some of the apps that I also use, and one app is really, really good. I like it a lot, actually. Nearby Explorer, and I like it because it does offer turn-by-turn directions, and it's made by APH, American Printing House. Um, One thing that was kind of cool for me was this thing called GeoBeam, and it's a little bit like the Getting Warmer feature on uh, the hardware devices, um, but it was pretty neat because it basically I haven't used GeoBeam a lot, but the big thing that I got out and am getting out of Nearby Explorer is just the clock facing directions, either that or it'll say turn right, turn left. Just the all of the I guess the time and effort that APH put into the app just to make it a really wonderful app. You can basically, in a nutshell, you can make this app as either simplistic, meaning you can have it just tell you everything, or you can just really, I guess you might say, crack down on the app and basically say, all right, I only want you to tell me this, this, or this. Like it's very, very, very customizable is what I'm getting at. There's
Well, I
also,
know, Sean,
sorry.
that app too. Um, Before COVID and everything, APH is working on doing an indoor mode with Nearby Explorer, where you could go into like an airport or a shopping mall and put the store in, and it would tell you where it is, or even when you're walking past it, it would tell you what it was. So I don't know if they're still going on with that project, but I know before COVID they were really working on that.
I do know that there is an a GPS, a free version of Nearby Explorer. It's called Nearby Explorer Online, and that is it's interesting because when you buy the Nearby Explorer app, which I don't think you can do anymore, um, because when I that has been replaced by Nearby Explorer Online. Um, the Nearby Explorer app itself comes with comes with maps. Those maps, I don't think those maps are being updated anymore, but you do have the option to use either Apple Maps or I believe it was Google Maps as your map provider or as your POI provider. And Nearby Explorer Online in the beginning, it was kind of clunky. It was kind of weird, but now I think it's getting to where Nearby Explorer is right now. Um, but I haven't seen any updates of Nearby Explorer in a while. But that is definitely an app that you'll want to check out. Nearby Explorer Online. That is a free app. It's
I
really, really good.
personally like Blind Square just because it works better on campus than Nearby Explorer does.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mhm.
There's also one, and I don't know if this is what you're going to mention, Stephen, but there's also one that I'm beta testing at the moment, which I really need to go and look at that um, again. But there's one, and it's called. Hold on. You know how you have apps that are just in the tip of your tongue? Hang on just a second. Um, shoot. Hold on. Hold on. It was
Was it Clue?
no, no,
Can I
no.
help you?
Clue's not
Yeah.
GPS.
Microsoft Soundscape.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know
Yeah, I was
why
just
that.
going to say that.
I don't know why that just all of a sudden slipped my mind. I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, Microsoft Soundscape. I am beta testing that, and that's been a lot of fun to beta test, because you get to experience things that others don't get to experience until later. And I will say that Microsoft Soundscape is really nice in the fact that provided that you have the correct set of earphones, and I'll talk about that in just a second. You can hear based on sounds where things are in 3D audio. Now,
Doesn't work that well if you're hard of hearing.
right, as that is true as well. But I will say, um, I would definitely, if you are gonna even look at Soundscape and walk around your neighborhood with it, definitely get the AfterShokz Trex Air headphones or Trex titanium headphones, because they allow you to still be able to hear things with your ears, while they also allow you to be able to hear what is coming out of the headphones. And they're bone conduction headphones, so they actually work by the tips of the earphones not going in your ears but actually resting on your temples. um, and I've actually found when beta testing Soundscape through a route that I like to go through that that was actually a really good way to still be aware of my surroundings and traffic and stuff like that, but and still get a feel for what the individuals at Microsoft Soundscape wanted to have tested. So just a FYI for that app, and I guess for anything, Soundscapes, or I'm sorry, not Soundscape, but the bone conduction headphones are really good for any type of GPS app. But there is also an app called Clue, and that's spelled CLEW, and that's an interesting app where it allows you to record a route, and it uses the iPhone's camera, and it's pretty good. It uses the iPhone's camera and its accelerometer. Maybe it's, yeah, I think it's pedometer as well. Because I'll give you an example. So, and Rachel has seen my house to confirm this, but I turned Clue on, or I opened up Clue, and I was at the bottom of my stairs, and I was showing at the time, my agency counselor the how to use Clue, and what I was doing was I was holding the phone in portrait mode, and I started the route, that I hit start route, and then I went up the stairs, then I turned to the right, then I went up some more stairs, then I went straight and stopped the route. So what's so significant about that? Well, when I hit navigate, no, uh, back down to the when I basically went back to where I started from, I was able to just hold the camera out, and it would actually say something like um, "go straight," and then all of a sudden it said "go downstairs," and then I would go downstairs, and then when I got to the landing, it would say turn left. So I was basically doing reverse of what I was basically following the route reverse of what I had done, and it was just it was amazing. I don't know that I'd recommend it too much outside, but for inside, it's pretty good.
The only thing you have to be careful with that is you have to know exactly where you're going, because even if
Yeah,
you get off of the route a little bit, it's going to throw you off, and so
Hmm.
yeah, just
uh,
take that.
yeah.
Really know where you are if you're going to use that app,
Which
and
kind of,
that
in
app's
my
also free.
opinion, that kind of defeats the purpose of the app, because unless you're in like a big banquet hall and you want to go back to your chair, like I could see it being useful for that, but if you're in an area that you know, it's kind of defeating the purpose of the app.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I mean, that's just what I used it briefly for. Like I don't use it every single day, or I have not used it in quite a while, to be perfectly honest. But it's just a cool little free app to mess around with. But um, that's my spiel on GPS. I know that there maybe maybe a couple of you saying, what about seeing eye GPS? I have used that, and it's okay. I personally like nearby a lot better, just because I'm if it's a low amount of money per prescription, sorry, subscription. Sorry about that. Um, yeah,
I do the same.
what? You're taking meds with this app? If
Yeah.
it's a low cost subscription base, then I'm fine with it. But seeing iGPS, they're kind of high cost, so I'm not going to recommend that. If you
Blind
want to
Square's
pay,
free though.
sorry,
I said Blind Square's free, no subscription required.
yeah, for real. Um,
I think it's
but
like the app now, I think is like $5, and that's it. You pay for the app and you have the navigation
what's that? Blind
for
Square?
Blind Square.
Yeah, Blind Square. I want to say I paid like $15 for it or something like that when it was, uh, obviously when it was newer, but it's really, really good. Seeing iGPS, if you want to get the full version, it's a ridiculous price. I mean, Sendero is a great company, don't get me wrong, but it's just, it was a really, it's a very, it's I want to say $300, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, or if I am, I'm just a little off.
Hey,
But
Sean,
yeah,
getting back to those headphones real fast. Have you tried the ear pods with that? Because somebody told me that you are able to hear things around you also when those are in your ears. And I was just wondering, is that true or not?
okay. So you said the ear pods, or do you mean the AirPods?
Is it? Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, I was thinking AirPods and earpods came out because I got it. That's what I got in my ears now. The earpods, but yeah, the wireless thingies now. That's the big
Yeah,
craze.
the AirPods. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
Pros are really interesting, and I'll be able to confirm that in a few months. I'm actually saving up for those. But the Pros are kind of interesting because they just received an update, and you can hear things. I don't know about all around you. But you
Mhm.
can hear. You can customize with the AirPod Pros if you're hearing quiet things, and if they're just too quiet, you could amplify the quiet voices,
Yeah,
for example.
that's in iOS 14. Just
Correct, but
recently
the AirPods
updated.
will. Sorry.
You can customize headphone settings and AirPods and
Correct.
when
Huh.
you use headphones.
Yes, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna customize headphones, I've been talking to Apple reps about that, and you will need either the AirPods second generation or AirPods
Oy.
Pro, or you can do it with the Apple EarPods.
It's too bad they cannot do them with hearing aids, man. It's crazy.
That that would be cool.
Yeah.
That really would be cool.
Hey, I use that soundscape, and I don't know about you, but when I use it when I'm riding in the Uber cars, so I can know where I am, or if I'm on the buses.
Hmm.
It calls out. We are out here in Hell West. We have bus stop numbers, so you
Hmm.
can call in and find out what time the bus is going to be there. So it'll be like a 5-digit number, and it calls them out every time it goes by. And I cannot figure out how do I stop this thing from calling out these bus stop numbers because it's annoying as all get out.
Yeah, I think they're working on that. They're trying to work, or I believe they've already tackled the. Yeah, okay, we need less things to be called out
Yeah,
instead
you
of
should
a
be
lot
able to
of things.
control it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
believe
pretty cool though.
there's a way to do that now.
It is a neat app, but I want to
Oh
try
yeah,
that other one you were talking about. What was it? The one that?
nearby, or which one?
Yeah. Nearby. Yeah.
Yep. Stephen, did you have a question? Your hand was raised. Sorry, that was like a long
Well,
time
yeah,
ago.
I
But
was. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the Microsoft Soundscape, but everyone. But I think you kind of said it all, except you can like look around. It relies on like a beaker, so when you
Beacon.
yeah, yeah, beacon, yeah, or whatever. But so when you go to like set it up and stuff, you're gonna hear like a tap 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 when you're like walking and wearing
I kind of find that
wearing.
annoying, to be honest.
Yeah.
It,
And also you can like set up markers too. Like I've set up a
Yeah.
marker from my house as well, and you can custom name your marker to say Sean Techno's house or whatever, or you can like push things
right.
that that says around you or ahead of you. That's a really good thing about it as well. You can like change the voice of the narration that's telling you all the things. So yeah, and within like the settings screen. So yeah, that's really
Yeah,
good as
yeah, I think it's a ping now. I think they got rid of that. Like somebody's walking. I think
Yeah,
it's a ping now.
well. Oh, okay.
I will have to open
Yeah.
that up. Yeah, I think I just got a beta
What's he
update
talking
a couple
about?
weeks ago.
Soundscape.
Soundscape.
They did get
Hmm.
rid of the clunk 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 clunk.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
supposed to be the sound of
good.
people walking. That's what it's supposed to be.
No, it
Really?
sounds like No, it sounds like people are tapping on like a wood board or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like you're walking, But that's what I think they were trying to do because somebody else has that as well. I think it was Microsoft's or Apple's Maps. I think has it or had it. And when you're moving your finger around the screen, it sounds like somebody's walking. And I think that's what they were trying to simulate or something. I don't know. But it was
Hi.
annoying.
Yes.
If I may break in here, can folks hear me? It's Lynette.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi,
I can hear
Lydia.
you. Yeah,
Hey,
we can hear you.
I just want to say thank you for the excellent information. And I will tell you a little story. First we had a little trouble getting to the bank, but you can also I just use the compass sometime. And had I been smart enough when I got out of the bank to turn the compass on and head north, we wouldn't have headed south. And that just happened, about a week ago. And some lovely woman said, "Oh, you are going downtown." We were on 97th Street and we'd walked from 106. So, so
Oh,
there you go. And I
You
have
got
had
your
so many.
exercise in that day.
Say again.
You said you got your exercise in that day.
Oh my God, sure did. And I
No,
have a lot of, do you find that when a lot of these apps come out and we all hear about them in the community, we all rush to use them and try them, and then we pick them, and then we pick the one I guess that works best for us, and then we forget, because I have a ton of all of those apps I have, and I still wind up really just needing the compass. But thank you for reminding me of them. I really should use them more. But who's traveling much now anyway? Still,
The best advice to get is from a VRT, so vision rehab therapist at your centers.
thank you.
You can call up and ask questions about certain apps and like what they would recommend for travel and stuff like that. Because they're always
Excellent.
willing to, even though they have clients, they're always willing to recommend things to other people. So if you have questions
Thank,
about anything, you can always call them.
I have a tip for
thank you.
Lynette.
Okay,
I have a
what's the
tip for
tip?
you. Whenever
Go ahead.
your compass tells you to go in that direction, just go in the opposite direction.
Oh, wait. Wait, what? Say again. If my compass is what?
If your compass tells you to go, let's say south, just go north.
I should go north? No,
Just do
wait.
the
No,
opposite.
no.
Yeah.
This time we got,
I don't think that's how it
it's
works.
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Goose.
majorly.
I tried using that, but I carry my phone on my belt all the time. So,
Huh?
and it's on my left side. So it was always saying, "You're going north." And I said, "How am I going north? I'm going west or whatever." It was really weird. It would not
Oh,
change. And then I was too hard-headed to hold it in the palm of my hand to let it
see, that's what
calibrate or recalibrate. So I just gave
yeah.
up on it. Just gave up on it. Said, forget
well,
it.
we have a backpack, we have a phone in one hand, cane in the other hand. It gets to be a little something.
Yep.
Yeah, it
I
does.
get that.
It definitely does.
I get that. Yeah, but I'm not going to be silly like that. And I do like Blind Square, and traveling the buses and such, when the drivers aren't always necessarily, calling out the stops. She is. So I can't say I have I guess right now it would be my favorite, just because that's the one I can think of opening, but I'll try the others again at some point. But thank you for reminding me of them all. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Oh,
Anybody-
one more question.
Oh, yeah.
Where are these recorded? You said these are recorded. These so that I can I was trying to make some notes, but are these sessions recorded or no? Or should we do that ourselves?
For the most part, no. Sometimes I have recorded
Okay,
them, like I'm
I
recording
got you.
today's. Um,
Okay, yeah, I noticed you mentioned that, and I thought, oh,
yeah,
okay.
and
So I wanted to
so
ask about the other.
where you find them, like the ones that are like that I feel like a lot of people will gain things from, you'll find it on a YouTube channel called Technology Wizard, spelled just like it
Oh,
sounds.
okay, hold on.
Oh, no
Okay, I
problem.
got it. I'm good. I'm
One
gonna
word or
get
2 words? Oh, it's got to be 2 words. Huh?
2
They don't
words.
do that. They don't do that 1 word stuff on websites, I guess, anymore.
Good. Where's Butte?
What's it called? Technology something on YouTube?
Technology Wizard.
Yeah, it used to be his
Technology.
podcast. He changed it.
Ah, wonderful. YouTube. And that's why I'm listening, so I thank you very much. Wow, lots of great information here. Save Miss Jaws. GPS on YouTube.
Yeah,
Great.
so a little background on that. So that's actually a continuation of podcasts because I've been a podcaster, an audio podcaster since 2008, stopped March of this year just due to funding. And then I
Gotcha.
thought, well, you know what? Why stop the whole podcasting thing when we could just switch to YouTube, keep the Technology Wizard channel open, and just start, presenting podcasts there. And so, on that note, I just want to say that I am going to be recording these future podcasts because I want to show you guys a couple of podcasts that I did, and of course they'll be audio only, but
Yeah, like
those are
video's
those
gonna
are going
help
to
me.
be, yeah, really.
Can
But
somebody maybe go over? Is it fairly simple to upload to YouTube? Maybe you might want to. I don't know if you feel comfortable doing, but letting us know how you do what you do.
sure, yeah, yeah, I can do that. So
Thank
I
you.
can either
Yeah,
do that now, or
future
I can
topic
make that.
suggestion there.
Oh,
I
there
can
were
either
two
do
posts.
that now, or actually, you know what? I will do that. I will do that for next week's presentation. How to upload to YouTube. What to keep in mind.
I've
There you
I've
go.
uploaded to YouTube before too. I had to do a video for a class I was in. So I did one
Wow.
on how to take notes and play them back and delete them on the Victor stream.
Steven?
Oh, I listen to it every night. I love my stream. When are
Oh,
they going
same
to up?
here. Same
Thank
here.
Yeah,
oh,
Steven.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. I think next week here's gonna will be very beneficial for me because I do have like over 5 to 7 gigs of audio game playthroughs that I have done, and I want to show the world, or at least the audio gaming community, my strategies and stuff, how I get certain tasks done within the audio gaming. And yeah, I think uploading my stuff over onto YouTube, because I already got a channel but without some videos, so, or without any audio or video content or whatever, so that would be very beneficial.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I'm one of those blind. I guess you could say the geeky kind of blind guys, and the fact that I love photography. I don't know if you guys have ever read Judy Dixon's book Get the Picture, but as soon as I half read, half listened to it, um, I really got interested in cameras and photography and stuff. And so with iOS 13, now it's even gotten a lot better with iOS 14. But with the camera, um, well, I'm going to save that, but I've been able to create videos and adjust the camera all by myself without any sighted assistance. So I will save that for next week, but I'm really jazzed about next week.
Yay.
You don't archive
Next,
your shows, do you?
I'm sorry?
what was that?
Do you archive your things, all these broadcasts and stuff?
Yeah.
So they're on the YouTube channel. Like I said, some I don't record, but
Right.
um, this one will go on the YouTube channel, and I do
Technology.
have playlists on there as well. So if you just search Technology Wizard, I recorded my the HomePod presentation that I did. I recorded that. Recorded a couple Kindle Fire. I think I recorded a couple Amazon um, rec- uh, podcasts presentations rather, which I uploaded there.
Uh,
So yeah, go ahead and check that channel out. Subscribe and feel free to comment with any, or just feel free to listen
okay,
to the videos.
gotcha. Yep. Yeah, I saw the title of that book that you mentioned, and but I didn't check it out because I don't know. I just never thought about pictures, being totally blind and stuff. Yes, but I tried to take a selfie of myself one time, and the phone didn't take it for some reason. So I said, "Oh well, okay, good. Yeah, I guess we'll be able to see it anyway." So, but anyway, go for it. I'm okay, I guess.
Okay.
With the new software update on Apple, they have photo. It's image recognition, and
Uh,
it'll give you a lot more description
Um,
about your photos.
that's what I was getting at. Yep.
And it's
ah,
been very helpful for me because I have a lot of pictures in my phone. And it gets like I had a desk chair I took a picture of for my stepbrother because he wanted to buy a chair like mine. And I took a picture of it and it said, desk chair by desk with computer. And I sent it to him and I'm like, that's my picture. So it's it's really good. It's probably one of the really good features that they have built in
Oh
now.
yeah, definitely.
Tweaking
And
my interest now.
yeah, definitely. And I love the camera. Oh my gosh, the cameras are great on these phones.
John, I'm surprised you don't have the 11 Pro with the 3 cameras.
No, I decided to take a break from getting a phone this year. I'll probably get
And
one
keep
next year.
up. You can't keep up. One comes out every 3 months or so.
For real.
So in
Yeah.
iOS 14, there's a screen recognition thing too now, where apps that are not accessible can be. You do a recognition on them, and suddenly the screen is more voiceover friendly, at least.
That's
Huh.
correct.
Kind of like convenient OCR in JAWS.
Right.
Huh.
I found
Wow.
you, so that's great.
Oh, good.
Now you're in trouble.
Yep, big time. Sure. Nice.
Oh, what kind of cat is that?
Oh, noisy one. Very. That's Kaylee.
Oh,
Star of the podcast.
I love cats.
She's so funny and just. You're saying hello, madam. Good. Okay. Pardon me, folks. I
Oh
can't.
yeah, yeah. I've got 2 cats at home as well.
Aw, I have three lunatics.
That's
So, Linda, are you
wonderful.
that crazy cat lady
I've
down
got
the street?
I got running into
What was that?
I said, are you that crazy cat lady down the street with the 3 cats?
You? Oh, yes. But they're good though. Thankfully, we have to keep Mickey in, but he would roam. All I can say is thank goodness we have the deck beyond because he would be happy to roam out the door and out into the street, and that's the end of it. So we have to keep him here. But the girls are not interested at all, it seems.
Oh, good. Oh yeah. Cats are
By the way,
definitely a joy.
By the way, someone said they downloaded the latest iOS version.
I have,
Oh boy.
yeah. I did it on a
Wow.
test phone.
Uh-huh.
Good
And
idea.
On my regular phone.
sorry.
I said I have it on my regular phone, and I did my iPad yesterday too.
So did you have to re-enter all your passwords and stuff like that? Somebody was telling me that they had to do that. They had to go through all this stuff, taking about 2 hours to get everything
Oh,
reinstalled and
no.
everything.
Oh goodness, no.
Maybe
no.
because he has a 6. So,
Oh, gosh.
that's probably what it is.
Oh, I had that phone. I love my 6 though.
You're gonna want to upgrade because your phone will not be supported next year.
Wow.
No, I said loved. I don't have it. I have an 8 now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, I don't even know what my 6 is.
6S or lower is gonna want to upgrade next year.
No, so I'm
I've
okay.
been
I got an A
listening.
plus. So.
Well, I have an old I'm listening to you all on my old original iPhone SE, and I love it. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that. I got one of those.
yeah,
Doesn't work. I mean, it's
they're
not connected.
lovely. Did you say it doesn't work? Uh-oh.
Well, what I meant was that I can't make calls on it. That's what I meant.
Oh, I don't think I can either. That part of it is dead, but
Yeah.
that's okay because it still works
Yeah.
beautifully on Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
why throw it away?
Plus all my music's on it, so.
Oh, okay? I have a question because we were with one of our friends is blind, but I don't think she does it. It's her sighted husband who has showed us GarageBand. Does anybody do GarageBand? Is it fairly accessible? Do you know about it or okay? That's it. That
Hi,
was my question.
Steven.
I've worked with it before with music, and it's very accessible. Um,
Oh, that is
yeah,
beautiful to hear.
and
Oh,
there's a lot of tutorials online for how to use it with voiceover too.
are
Steven.
there? Okay. On YouTube?
What do you
Possibly,
say,
right?
Linda?
You mean
Uh,
Lynette, or is there a Linda?
What's your name?
No, I think she meant
Somebody,
Lynette.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the question?
Let Steven go.
somebody said
y-
Steven.
yeah, I said my name.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, I know how to use GarageBand. In case if you haven't noticed, there is a sound library in where you go to your instruments and live loops folder. You select the live loops category, swipe, flick right into the landscape mode a couple of times. You're good. You're gonna find live loops. So it's not just the instruments that are built in what counts. There's like a whole array of like instruments, drum kits. I've got the
What?
whole works myself,
Drum.
and using it to an advantage is really awesome.
And you said somebody did say something that I could find tutorials somewhere on YouTube or something on how to use it accessibly.
Yeah, I think
You
I think
can
Rachel was saying that.
go you
I
can go
I
on
think you
YouTube
can.
and you type in GarageBand with voiceover.
Ah,
And
see now, duh, Lynette, come on.
yeah, if you do
Okay,
that on YouTube, there should be a couple that pop up that actually show you how to use it with voiceover.
thank you.
Yeah, but you
Garage.
may never know if those are for Mac or if those are for iPhone.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
they'll
well, right.
listen to
That's
them and find out.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
Yeah.
what's the difference? I mean,
well,
once
if
a
we're hearing.
computer, I mean, they're all apps. I mean, they're all Apple, right? Oh, man.
Anything that you use on iPad and iPhone, they base the apps work the same way.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay,
thinking.
Mhm.
thank
Yeah, it
you.
doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
I've
Okay,
used
Mac or
GarageBand as well to create intro themes to the
oh,
Technology Wizard podcast.
Oh, really? Okay,
see,
that's cool.
Yep.
that is cool. I've just been sitting at my guitar and stuff like that. Playing some
Hey,
cool.
that's even
That is
better. It's live.
well, but it's limited, to what I can do. So, but thank you.
I had a
GarageBand with
one-string
voiceover.
guitar.
Say again. I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said I had a one-string guitar once.
Oh, got a one-string guitar. Oh, all right. Uh,
Bet you like that.
play some melodies, I guess, but that'd be about it.
Before I stop the recording, then we can ask more questions. But does anybody have any more questions regarding GPS or guide dogs or anything like that?
HK speaking.
Hey,
How
HK.
much does one of those GPS cost?
Wait, what
Oh,
are you referring to? The hardware GPS or the
Yes,
app?
oh,
Okay.
hardware.
They're pretty expensive. The
yeah,
hardware GPSs, oh
900.
my gosh, they're ridiculously expensive. Okay, I'm gonna talk from personal experience. I would not recommend a hardware GPS, and I may be in trouble with someone on here, and I'm sorry if I am. Um, I did not have a good experience with my hardware GPS. It was
Well,
the Trekker
that's
Breeze
fair.
Plus, and
Oh,
basically
okay.
the maps got discontinued. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But if you want to get that, they now have the Victor Trek from Humanware. Rachel, do you want to speak about that? I don't have much to say about it, but I know you may have more to say about that.
So the Victor Trek is mainly a Victor Stream, but they've built in the Trek feature to it. And I have friends that have used it. I am more for the application GPSs, just because I don't want to carry another device around with me. But the Victor Trek, from what I've heard, there's a lot of people I know who use it are on college campuses. It doesn't work very well on college campuses. Um, and it's a little trickier to use when you're trying to find locations because you can't just type in, like, if you're on your phone, like, you can, if you're using Google, which is what I use a lot of time for my GPS, unless I'm on campus,
Oh,
you can
interesting.
just say, like, find, like Pizza Hut. Like, you want to go to Pizza Hut, you say Pizza Hut. It'll pull up the closest Pizza Hut near you, and you just click on it, and it will give you directions. With the Trex and the other hardware GPSs, you have to know the address and punch that in. And if they don't have that building marked because the map hasn't been updated, you can't really travel there.
That was the thing with the Trekker Breeze Plus before they just discontinued it out of the blue. They
Wow.
the Trekker Breeze Plus, it was originally going to be a 2-year update for the map. So every 2 years, well, a lot can happen in 2 years, right? So in my case, there was a mire in Bertrand, near where I live. Sorry, and the Trekker Breeze Plus didn't have any idea that that was there, and I guess my experience with them was that it was cool at the time, but then all of a sudden when it got discontinued, it was rather a shock because I just, I didn't normally have the money to purchase that, and then all of a sudden I hear it's discontinued. It's like, oh my gosh, that's like $626. Actually, that actually was the price. I'm good with numbers for some reason. It was $626 down the drain, but it was
Oh,
yeah, that was not fun.
that's terrible.
It is, yes. And then the company tries to play the blame game and et cetera, et cetera. Oh goodness. But anyway, that's my not so good experience with the hardware GPS. So I would definitely recommend the applications to be honest, because I mean, let's face it, the iPhones are getting a lot better. Excuse me, the iPhones are getting a lot better. The GPS receivers are getting a lot better within the iPhones. I would honestly just recommend um, either an iPhone or something like that if you're going to be using GPS. But the Victor Reader Trek is there if you want it. I will say that I have heard that the maps have changed. They were using Navtech maps or something like that. Then they're using, and maybe I think there's someone in here that has a Victor Trek, but the maps did change to another service. I think it was called Here. I do have I do know someone who does have a Victor Trek, and they like it. But anyway, that's what I can tell you about the hardware GPSs. They're quite expensive. Normally, an agency would buy them for you, or if you have that much money to shell out, then you can buy it. But that is what I
Well,
can tell you.
also, when you would go to guide dog training, at least at Leader Dog, they give you a GPS when you get your dog, because they want to use that in conjunction with guide dog training. And my first year, I went for, well, no, it was a summer camp there. We got the Captain GPS, which was
Oh,
not
yeah.
a very good GPS. Um, but it was older technology. And then when I went to get my dog, we got the Trekker Breeze Plus, and now they're giving out Victor Treks. And I was training a lot of the people how to use those GPSs because they didn't know how to use them. So,
Right. Yep.
Wow.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, I'm still going to keep the chat room open. So if you guys want to just stay and chat, that's awesome. I'll be here. I'm going to stop the recording, but before I do, I want to thank everyone for joining this week's GPS and Guide Dog event, and I will see you guys next week.